Wow, so much to say about this. So much to say. CM Punk has returned to the WWE. I will admit, I did not think it was going to happen. I was open to it happening in 2024, thought there was a very big possibility for a Royal Rumble appearance or a Mania, a Raw after Mania appearance for CM Punk or any other sort of appearance in WWE next year. It just didn't seem like something that was going to come together in time for Survivor Series here in Chicago. And based on all the reports we were reading, it just wasn't feeling like it was going to happen unless there was some 11th hour deal made, which now apparently looks like was the case. Welcome back to the WWE, CM Punk. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of mixed emotions on this. I'm sure there's going to be lots to talk about in future podcasts about this as we really kind of process this information, because this is a big one. This is a big one. I am thrilled, to be honest. But at the same time, you know, we've talked for the past several months about what Punk back in WWE could mean and the pros and the cons of that. And I'm interested to see how this deal came together, how late it came together, because the way he came out indicates that there was no plan for him. Like, they didn't know this 3 weeks ago. If they did, you would think he'd come out in a much bigger way. I thought they were going to cash in Damian Priest tonight. The match ends about 13 minutes until the top of the hour. Something's going to happen, but not the something that I thought. Turned out to be CM Punk. Cult of Personality hits. Crowd goes nuts. Punk comes out, salutes the crowd. Show goes off the air. Didn't get in the ring. None of that. Just came out. So that was the surprise. I had a big post on Twitter today where I said, these feel like the type of surprises that WWE doesn't do anymore. They don't do these anymore. The last big one, like return debut that really shocked me or us, I would say might be like AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble in 2016, or the Hardy Boys at WrestleMania 33, Edge at the Royal Rumble 2020. But even those we kind of maybe had an inkling were going to happen. And I always thought that the way WWE does things now, you know, same thing with, you know, with Cody coming in and wrestling Rollins at WrestleMania, everybody in the arena knew it was going to be Cody. There wasn't much doubt there. And I just feel like if the plan all along was for Punk to come in tonight, the WWE on TV over the past couple of weeks would have been leaning in to the references and being a lot less subtle about them. And they would want the crowd to chant CM Punk. And by all means, they wouldn't have maybe announced, you know, Randy Orton on Raw to maybe settle the crowd down, get their minds off of CM Punk. That's because apparently they wanted to smash us in the face with a big surprise. And I am always delighted when I get the opportunity to be surprised by something that happens in pro wrestling. And now the flurry of what ifs, where do we go from here? Holy crap, what happens now? What does this mean for Punk and WWE's future? How did this deal come to be? When did he speak to Triple H and cut a deal and come in? And how is this what does this mean? You know, I've been kind of refusing to think about Punk in that light just because it's not really time to think about him coming in yet. I wasn't going to worry about what he's going to do until he actually comes in. And I just thought 2024 was way more likely than here in Chicago at Survivor Series. And just as WWE is signing off with a little watermark in the corner, boom, Cult of Personality hits. CM Punk walks out to the stage, salutes the crowd, wearing a white t-shirt and jeans, didn't get in the ring, didn't start a program with anybody, didn't attack anybody, just came out at the very end of the show for probably the best cherry on top of a pay-per-view we've ever seen. I had my prediction completely inverted. I thought we would get a lot of extracurricular activity after War Games, but I thought that would come in the form of a Damian Priest cash-in. Here's one of my early, just with absolutely no knowledge of the situation at all, just an early gut feeling. I think tonight might have still been the plan for Damian Priest. I think maybe the original plan was to have him cash in tonight. When the deal was worked out with Punk, they decided to wait. Let's bring him out here, have him close out Survivor Series. It's in Chicago. Big man, we're gonna cash you in on Raw or at the end of the year or on SmackDown or somewhere else other than here. Sorry. Hope you're not mad at us. Looks like you had some special gear made and everything. Hope it's cool. I'm flabbergasted. I'm absolutely floored by this. This is what I like about being live, because I can kind of process this information in front of you guys. And I've been talking for weeks on the podcast about how I just don't see it, not at this show. I think Punk coming in can definitely happen, but here, like, where would he fit in? Because I was thinking of Punk coming in along the lines of, oh, if he shows up, he's going to attack somebody, wrestle somebody, start a program with somebody. I never even thought that he could just come out and wave, and that's all you had to do, and that's what they did. And what was a very good War Games match between Team Cody and the Judgment Day, babyfaces got the win. Randy Orton came back, and they tried to be slick with you. I knew right away what they were doing. As we were watching the show together, they cut backstage to Cody and Sammy, and Randy Orton hasn't arrived yet. I think it was Sammy and Jay. Maybe that's what it was. Doesn't matter. But they're talking about Randy Orton. He hasn't arrived yet. I don't think he's coming. And I'm like, I see what they're doing, because the baby faces have the last guy in the ring because the heels had the advantage. That means the last person out is going to be a baby face. You want to save Randy Orton's theme music and his return for that, instead of him coming out and then standing in the shark cage with everybody for 35 minutes. Coming out in the end is a much more dramatic entrance, makes a bigger entrance, crowd pop going nuts. Can't say enough about the shape Randy Orton was in, how good he looked. He has gotten himself in magnificent shape in this last year and a half. Hopefully he's totally healthy. Hopefully he's ready to rock and roll. He looked good here in this match. But that was an epic main event, epic way to close out a pay-per-view. It's something that I just haven't expected from WWE in the last decade or so. The last big moment like this, like what we saw here with CM Punk, forget about Edge, forget about the Hardys, forget about AJ. It's Brock in 2012. That's the last time I felt that stand up out of your seat, I'm going to shit a brick type of feeling, was in 2012, the night after WrestleMania, when Cena lost to The Rock and Brock came back and F5'd him and set up their match and ushered Brock back into the WWE. That was a crazy, holy shit moment. This is a big one. It doesn't feel real. I'm sure Twitter has exploded. Oh my God. I want to wish my friend Sean Ross Sapp well, who I know is going to get a lot of shit from a lot of stupid people that believe it was misreported or something when it wasn't, and even people reading my tweet today when I was like, he's just not coming here. Just not tonight. You have to understand that I am not upset about being wrong. That's the problem with social media. Look at this one. This person says, this aged poorly. Do you guys think I'm upset about this? This is what a weird IWC we have here. I don't give a fuck if I'm right or wrong about any prediction. I give a fuck about having a good time and being shocked and excited. And I was. That was tremendous. So great to see CM Punk back. I can't believe he's back this fast. And who knows what they're going to do with him. He's now here for the Rumble. He's here for WrestleMania. There's no telling what he's going to do in WWE. And he's back almost 10 years to the day, just a little bit shy of the 10-year mark from when he walked out. 9 years and 10 months after he left the company, he is back. That's tremendous. Because I love when something happens that floods your brain with like a million different possibilities. This is so fucking crazy. Okay, who's the next one? Super Fluffy Toaster, appreciate 5 from you. Props to WWE for keeping it a secret. I agree. It seems like everything involves a mole these days leaking shit, and that's something, unfortunately, that's never going to go away. We live in the information age. Everybody's got a communication device right at the palm of their hand. It has nothing to do with wrestling journalists or media or anything like that ruining this stuff. Technology ruins it. That's all it is. That's the only one to blame. And WWE being able to keep this relatively under wraps to the point where I'm making tweets saying he ain't coming is fucking awesome. That's what we like to see. And when the match was over, I see 13 minutes left until the top of the hour. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen here? Something's got to happen here because there's more time left. And that was when I was expecting Seth Rollins to get isolated, attacked, because Ripley earlier on did run out with the briefcase. If you go back and watch the watch along here, you hear me saying, I can envision Ripley like running out with the briefcase. Not 3 seconds later, out she comes with the briefcase, wants to cash in. But before they can actually officially ring the bell, that's when Randy Orton's music hits. He comes out, saves the day, helps the baby faces win. They beat Judgment Day. And as they're standing there, I'm the one mentioning the watermark. I said, keep a lookout for the watermark. If they hit the branding logo, they're going to sign off. We see the branding logo. They're stalling a bit. We go to a wide shot of the arena. Out comes CM Punk. Crowd collectively shits themselves, and Punk comes out, white t-shirt, jeans, to the stage, doesn't go to the ring, doesn't go to the cage, just comes out, salutes the crowd, jumps in the crowd. He looks very happy to be there, and the show goes off the air. Survivor Series 2023 goes off the air with CM Punk returning to the WWE. I am fucking blown away. Not mad that I predicted it wrong. Not mad that I said Punk isn't showing up. I like to be surprised. Surprise me again. I hope there's somebody else that I say isn't coming and then they show up. I would love that. None of this bothers me at all. I think this is awesome. It's fun. The crazier shit that happens in wrestling, the more I like it. Whether it's AEW or WWE, I like when people jump back and forth. This is going to ignite a lot of tribal nonsense online for the next couple days, so I might just stay away from it. But the excitement of Punk coming back, people jumping sides, jumping ship, switching brands, it's all back. We haven't had this shit in like 25 years, and it feels so good to live in this environment again. And when we have these big, massive defections, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, I can't believe they're in the company together. I'm not sure how their relationship is. And I don't know what that's going to mean for Cody Rhodes. Hopefully he's still well on his way to win the title at WrestleMania. But shit, you factor Punk into the mix now, and who knows what the hell is going to happen. I don't even know what his future is going to be. He's going to be a Raw guy, SmackDown guy. Are we going to see him on Raw this Monday? I would assume we would. I would put Punk on Raw over SmackDown. I think Punk should be on Raw. Oh my God, the promo confrontations that are just waiting for him on that brand. And SmackDown, you got Roman Reigns over there. This is exciting, man. This is exciting. And, you know, WWE, again, another thing I have to give them credit for is that this does feel like a case where they listen to the audience. Because otherwise, they have nothing but bad memories of CM Punk in the WWE. How he acted, the way he was in the locker room, what pain in the ass he was, the personal issues he had with his new boss, Triple H, and all of that didn't matter because the fans wanted him. And I said that too. One of the things I said yesterday, just yesterday in my predictions, I said, even though I don't think CM Punk is coming back, one thing I have to admit is that WWE sees his name trending every fucking day. This guy can be gone from the business for 8 years and fans still chant his name. Nobody really knows why, that there's this intangible with Punk that exists, but it does. And his chants are deafening. He still has a following. It feels like he's got a following that will never leave. You know? Like with all of that shit that happened in AEW, sure, there's a lot of people that view Punk as a cancer in their locker room. Oh, hey, Nick Hausman right there. Speak of the devil. Hey, we know some of these people in this scrum. Even with all of that in AEW, Punk still maintained a pretty hardcore fan base, even with everything and all the problems he caused there, all the shit that I gave him. I ain't his boss. It's not my job to discipline or police CM Punk. It's Triple H's job. He's his headache now. But WWE realizing the buzz that this guy just seems to always have around him, he's 43 or 44 years old. If there's anything left, if there's any mileage left at all in the CM Punk tank, you got to do it now. And I think that this could, I'm all about redemption. You know, I love that. I love a good redemption story. And Punk, very tumultuous last couple of years in the business. And if he's, and of course, the way he left WWE, all of the bridges he's burned throughout his life. If he finally, at the very end of his career, rebuilds the bridges, rights some wrongs, corrects some perceptions about him, repairs his reputation, has a nice little run in WWE, goes into the Hall of Fame, rides off into the sunset. That's what I want. You know, it's a kind of an unfair comparison, but I think of Shawn Michaels kind of in the same way. Is that return run he had when he came back in 2002 and then retired in 2010, that was his redemption story. Anyway, I need to get offline here and process this. You're going to see me again Monday night after Raw. Big podcast. We will be here to talk about a lot, and I'm sure we will have something to say about CM Punk showing back up in WWE.